This is Petroline from Explosive Minds, and today we have another episode on meta model violation. So if you've missed the first episode, one of the first episodes where I've explained what is a meta model and how we use that in our everyday lives and how you can use that to more effectively communicate with people, I'll link that to the description below so that you can go back and watch that video. Now, today we're talking about cause and effect, which is another what we would call meta model violation. And the cause and effect pattern, as somebody might refer to it, really refers to the fact that people believe A causes B, or because of A, B happened. And we see that a lot around us. If you have kids, if you have teenagers that just sort of getting into those teenage years, I bet you've heard them thinking the sky is falling because A happened, B is going to happen, or because of this, that is going to happen. And you hear that. If you start to listen for that, you'll pick that up in a lot of conversations around you. Now, it has almost become the way we think and the way we speak because of the way we experience the world. And the way we experience the world is different for every single person based on the filters that we have in our mind, which again was formed throughout our experiences that we've experienced from childhood onwards throughout adult life as well. And that is why if you have two people at the same, let's say, concert, the filter of how they perceive the world around them will be different for every single person. And that is why one person might think the concert was great and the other person might think it was just absolute nonsense. And that is why people's opinions about things differ, and that is based on that filter that they have and perceive the world through. Now, we think in this pattern all day long. We talk like that all day long, where we say, you make me mad when you do this, or because you did this. Even I've heard it at work from my manager or from my boss, and I'm pretty sure if you think back, you've heard it also, where they tell you, because you did this, that happened. And when we reprimand children, we tell them, because you did this, that happened. Now, this way of speaking really becomes problematic when it starts to direct your choices and your behavior. So sometimes you might hear people slip that, I almost want to say, although I really want to encourage you to be aware of it and not to speak like that. But at the moment it starts to direct your behavior, influence your choices, then it really becomes an issue in your life. And whenever you get to a point where you feel like you've said something and now you have this feeling of, oh, I'm the victim. Because you didn't phone me, that means you don't love me. Because of this, that means B is going to happen, or whatever is going to happen. And in that moment where you have that feeling, where you know that because of A, B is going to happen, and you feel like the victim, that is a great opportunity where you can acknowledge what is currently happening and sort of pull out the stock card and say, whoa, let me acknowledge this emotion, because that's what we want to do, right? You don't want to suppress emotions because it's going to bubble up at some point. You want to acknowledge the emotion so that you can work with the emotion, and so that you can use that emotion to your benefit. So now you know that's what's going on when you are in a particular scenario. And the moment you think or have that situation where you feel like the victim, or you feel like somebody else, you want to blame something or somebody else, you know this is a good place to practice the following questions. First of all, you're going to acknowledge that it is not a right thought, right? And as you go through this exercise many times and in many scenarios, you're going to start to realize that the thoughts that you have are really illogical thoughts. It's really just based on the model of the world that makes you think a certain way, not somebody else, just you. So when you want to listen to your own language and what you use, and when you want to listen to other people's languages and what they use, you can listen for the words like makes, or they make me, you makes me, things like because of this, that's going to happen. If this is going to happen, then that's going to happen. Since this has happened, therefore. So you can listen for words like that. That will be a good indication that a person is stuck in that cause and effect mindset, especially if they use that a lot. Now, you want to change that. So here is the questions you can ask yourself, or you can actually ask the other individual to help them process their mind through that thought and process I almost want to say, help them through the logical thinking of that thought. If a person makes a statement like, if you do that, it causes me or it causes that, and you can ask them, how specifically do I cause this? If you have a manager that gives you feedback and say, because you did that, that has happened, and that's why you get a poor performance rating, ask them how specifically. Don't just accept that people tell you that. Ask them, how specifically did that happen? And the other question you can also ask, especially if people say, if we drive this route, we are in danger. And this is now just probably not a great example, but you can, in that instance, you can ask them, how do you know that? Because a lot of people base their opinions, especially nowadays, base their opinions on what they believe. They firmly believe that if you're gonna, I remember years ago, one of the politicians said that if you shower, it will heal you from HIV. And that's a cause and effect statement. Now, obviously, we know it's true, but there are people that believe it. And then you can really ask the person, but how do you know that? And unless they can show you the evidence, then if there's no evidence for it, like in this case, scientific evidence for that, then there's no truth behind that. It's an illogical thought. I hope that is useful. Go out and use these examples in your conversations with people, with your children, with your spouse, in your meetings at work, with clients. It will really help you to take that conversation much further. Ciao.